What is up, everybody? It's Dylan Ashcraft from Ellipsis TCG here, doing another live gameplay for set 11 this time around. So we're doing Red Broly versus Red Gogeta. Both of these are new decks from the set, and they're both pretty cool. Broly is like the boogeyman of the format, right? Everybody's talked about this deck, and for good reason. It's fairly consistent and fairly strong. On the left, we have Derek McDill playing Broly, because I think that man can only play Broly cards now. Every time he's been on the channel, I think in the last couple months, he's just played a Broly card deck. So, turn 1, he's going to activate the leader effect to fetch for an extra card from his deck. I believe he got Violent Raise. That is a once per game effect, which it doesn't matter. He's not on the Unawakened side for very long. He's going to tap 1, play the planet Vampa, and then do the Vampa effect to take a life, look at the top 7 cards of his deck, and play a... Yeah, it plays a Broly, but like it plays some other stuff too. The Broly that he played is that backed out card. That's the expensive promo you're hearing so much about. Brad's pointing at it because he wants to point at things. When the Broly is played, he can crit a life, summon a Ba from his deck. There are some proxies, by the way, in Derek's deck, just because he doesn't have everything yet. It's all in the mail. On the board, the card that he just crit is supposed to be the Seeker Rare. Lost my train of thought. So, the 1-drop's going to play the 2-drop Ba. 2-drop Ba will then search his deck for any 5 or less Broly BR card. Red Broly BR. I'm going to take a sip of my coffee. I apologize if y'all hear any slurping noises. Apologies. Alright, so it looks like he grabbed the 3-drop. This is a swap deck. For those who are unfamiliar with the history of Dragon Ball Super, swap has been a interesting keyword. We've got a lot of interesting decks, by the way. He's activating swap to swap the 1-drop into the 3-drop. When the 3-drop is played, he gets to play a 1-drop Red Paragus BR from his hand, playing Paragus the something. I don't know his name. I'm not going to pretend like I do. When that Paragus is played, he looks at the top 5. Top 5 cards, grabs any Red Broly card. Broly BR. You can't grab the Secret Rare, which, thank God, that'd be absurd. But you know who can grab the Secret Rare? That Kale he just charged. This deck does a lot. If you're wondering, by the way, why he's at 5 life already on turn 1, we have the Planet Vamp effect, we have the promo effect, and then he used the leader effect to take 1 life as well. Leader is effectively set 1 Vegeta, take a life, your guy gains crit. So good. So good. Brad is playing Red Gogeta. He has loved Gogeta cards since we first got him back in the game, or got him into the game. And he likes to high rarity the shit out of them. So you're going to see some nice SPRs, especially the 6-drop from the new set, because that card is beautiful. Alright, he's going to attack. Opting to not take the life, he's going to look at the top 7. He gets to grab a 1-drop extra card. So, ideally here, he's going to grab Violent Raise, because Violent Raise is fucking Flying Nimbus, but red, basically. And says, I don't die on the next turn. I think Derek is checking to see if you have to take the life or not. I'm getting emails about work. Nifty. But as I was saying, swap is an interesting mechanic in our game. Derek comes off the Paragus, so he doesn't have to take the damage, which is super good because that Paragus is unique. So if he plays another 3-drop next turn, which he most likely will, he can play another copy of Paragus in his hand, which, spoiler, he has. Unless he combos it, or charges it. Yeah, so we had swap, aka Storm, right? 1-2 swap with Bardock the Progenitor and Scrambling Self on Go 10. If you missed that format, and by format I mean year, basically, bless your heart. You missed some shit. The deck was fun, but like it wasn't healthy for the game. Then we had Frieza Swap, which wasn't like a dominant deck in the meta, but it had its place. I think Pro Play Tour Atlantic City was like its best showing. I think there was 2 of them in the top 16 cut, and a couple more in the top 32, which was pretty cool. Alright, Brad is going to Union Fusion, a Veku out with a Vanilla and a 2-drop Vegeta. The Vegeta is a proxy for the tournament pack card. Allows him to look at the top 7, grab a Gogeta, and add it to hand. And then he has to discard a card if he added something. So he discarded the 6-drop Gogeta, which he added a copy of. Veku, that's the one that can attack active mode battle cards. So he's just going to... I think they're, like, he's arguing whether or not he attacks the Ba or the Servant Broly, which it doesn't matter, right? Because the Ba is going to block it anyways. Like, that's just the correct line of play. Also, the new Servant keyword is on half of these Broly cards, meaning they're beefy. Alright. Brad is going to pass, even though he forgot to activate his Veku effect here, which is what he's going to do. He's like, ah, shit, I forgot to do this. And then I, sitting next to the camera, said, whatever, it's fine. It doesn't really do much. Veku pops himself to add back a target Goku BR and Vegeta BR. Dagger's going to charge. I think he charges a second copy of Kale here. Which, by the way, Kale is an absurd Dragon Ball card. It's a very good card, but it's not necessary in this deck, which is wild to me, because it's -7 ability, which, when I first read it, I was like, alright, whatever, like, how often are you getting to 7, right? You don't have an uptick effect. Well, friendos, you get to -7 a lot, and minusing your opponent's leader by 15k and summoning a 5-drop for free is fucking absurd. Alright. Servant Broly's going to attack in for, I think that one's 19k. He's going to play the 1-drop, crit a life, creating the 6-drop Broly, which is a good card, but doesn't always get played. Just because, like, the energy restriction on his effect, or on the 6-drop, yeah. Your opponent has to have 3 more energy, or you have to have 4. Which is cool that it gave you the clause if you have 4 more energy. That way your opponent can't, like, skip charge and, like, prevent you from getting to your top end. But, like, it doesn't matter. The deck doesn't need it. 3-drop is gonna swap into the 4-drop. When the 4-drop is played, he can put a marker on his Unison if he has one. And then Brad has to warp a card from his hand. And then at the end of Brad's next turn, he'll get the card back. Cool. Derek's gonna awaken and untap 2. Because, again, for some reason, we thought untapping 2 energy in an aggro deck is fun. Or is fair. It's definitely fun. 1-drop's going to swap into the 3-drop. 3-drop's going to then play a Paragus. Paragus is going to then look at the top 5, grab any Broly BR. I'm going to commit to red Broly BR. I don't think it adds green stuff. But a red-green list would be cool if it actually worked with each other. I know the green cards are very homogeneous with each other. So, like, the 1-drop can only play a green 4-drop. Adding the 5-drop off of it. You can see a lot of attacks here. The other cool thing with the leader is on the Awaken side, as long as you have a Broly on the board, he is always critical. And when he attacks, he gains 5k and draws a card. Which is very strong. If you watch the Computer Gaming Universe 1K, I'm going to say last weekend, even though it was a little bit longer than that. By the way, the 4-drop's going to attack, do damage to Brad. The other 3-drop will attack as well. That 5k is relevant. I lost in Game 3 on stream to it. Cool. 3-drop's going to swap into 4-drop. 4-drop will then warp another card from Brad's hand. It's that, like, aggro along with the mini... coffee sips. The mini hand control as well is really wild. Alright. Swinging in again. So the 4-drops are 20k because of the 10k base and then Serpent. Now, the only downside to the Servant mechanic, and a downside, right, it doesn't matter because they swap, but during Derek's upkeep, the Servant cards do not untap. But if he wanted to, he could use the Overlord ability on the 1-drop, bottom deck a 4-drop, and draw a card. He's never going to do that. Maybe 1 out of, like, every 100 times, you're like, oh, I need another card in hand. But typically you're just going to swap, right? Like, you're just going to keep summoning guys. Alright, so we're on the leader swing. We're at 30k double strike critical. Comboing that nice level 2 Judge Champa. Both of these guys like high rarity cards in their deck. But I want Derek to know that when watching this video, your 4-drop was not foil. Alright. Brad's going to utilize the new super combo. So if he's at 4 life and his leader's a mono red Saiyan, he can bottom deck 1 card and draw 2. I also think it has a clause on it that your energy all has to be the same color too. I think. I'll have to check that actually after I'm done commentating this. Alright, so this will put him to 20. He has to combo an extra 15k to get out of the attack, or Awaken, which, like, he doesn't want to do that here because you get no value out of it. He's an untap too. And just dropping 3 more cards feels kind of neg. Alright. Oh, God. So, he's going to choose to not combo, or combo out of it. He's going to take the 2 crit, and then Bardock the Resolute's going to come down. And Bardock the Resolute is good Dragon Ball card. He free plays himself if your leader card is red. And you are able to do damage to your opponent via a skill. Or, like, I think the wording on it is, like, do damage via a skill or cards are put from their life in their drop to effectively crit. So if you, like, catastrophic blow or, like, burn them and then crit. Brad's going to Spark After Image. Plus 40, minus 10 to the Bardock the Resolute. Which is super good. Because even though Resolute will untap itself because the counter skill is activated, oh boy, he's only a 5k for the rest of the turn, so it's not like he can go in. But honestly, depending on what Derek's hand was, he probably could have tried to just go in. Not advisable, but I do see a super combo. Alright, Brad's going to charge, activate the 2-drop Vegeta from the Anniversary box. He's going to discard it, and then add back a Gogeta from his graveyard to his hand. Actually, I think it's Gogeta or Vaku. Not actually sure. Alright, so he's going to untap 2. Well, he's going to tap 2, summon the Gotenks Unison. You cannot see through that glare right there. Kitchen table lights, man. Gotta love them. Alright, so he's going to activate Union Fusion? I wanted to say Unison and Swap. But he's going to play the Vaku, draw a card off the leader, and then he'll uptick off of the Gotenks because of the fact that he activated Unison. Union Fusion? Union Fusion. Again, so many keywords that share, that share similar names, man. It's rough. Alright, and then the top 7 effect to find a Gogeta, hitting the old 8-drop from set 6. Now the question is, like, does he keep it in hand for combo power because of the tap on 10k? Or does he just discard this? I don't know what the rest of his hand is. He does have to discard off of the Vegeta promo. Discarding Violent Rays. That's a bold strategy. Maybe he has another one? Oh, he has 2 more. Okay. Alright, so the Gogeta leader, what this one does on the Awaken side, he's an untap 2 leader. And then he's always double strike. When he attacks, draw a card, plus 5k. So, 20k, double strike. Constantly. Alright, Vaku's going to swing into the Ba. Vaku will then pop himself. Add back dudes. Looks like we're figuring out what we're adding. How many times has this 1-drop Goku been used for Union Fusion? Twice? Probably, because he's only Union Fusion twice. Alright. Brad is going to, remember to get the counter from the swap. Or the fucking Union Fusion. Is he going to draw? Did he draw off the Gotenks already? If not, for those wondering what the hell the Gotenks does, it has a 0 ability and a -5. 0 ability says, move the mic down a bit, so hopefully you can hear me a bit better. It says, just draw a card. And then, hello. Wow, that might be better. Sorry. Oh, boy. I'm going to turn that back down a little bit. Nothing like playing with your microphone while recording audio, right? I have to change the input volume a lot for different types of content that I do that I always just kind of forget to mark it at certain points. So the Gotenks has a 0 ability that says draw a card, just straight up. And then -5, this card gains 15k dual attack and double strike for the turn. So it's a 30k dual attack double striker, which is a good game ender. And you get to that -5 ability pretty quickly because I keep saying swap. You Union Fusion a lot, and you just get markers upon markers. At the end of the turn, Brad's going to add back the cards that the 4-drops warped. And let's see if he can survive. There's a lot of shit that's going to happen this game. Or this turn. Derek dredging a 3-drop. Just because he definitely doesn't need it anymore. However, it's not a bad idea to keep one in hand if he doesn't, because the Violent Race here will declare that Derek cannot attack with 20k or higher battle cards. So that'll damn it. That'll rule out the 4-drops because they are 20ks because of the Serpent skill. It'll rule out the 5-drop, the 6-drop, even though he can't actually play it. And I think that's it for battle cards. I mean, the Seeker Rare, but he can't go into that. He's going to tap 1 to swap into the 5-drop. Brad is going to use the Yamcha counterplay to blow up the Resolute here. He did point at the Bardock. He's doing hand move, or not the Bardock. He did point at the Bardock. He's pointing to the 5-drop Broly. However, what ends up happening here is that they discussed the fact that if he minuses 15 to the 5-drop, Brad can then attack, or Derek can then attack with a 5-drop because it's a 15k, no longer a 30k. There's me throwing a $25 card for some reason. And he just ends up deciding. They decide that the best course of play is to not minus 15 the 30k. Alright, swapping into the other 5-drop, meaning he'll eat another card from Brad's hand. And then he's going to swing the leader, draw a card, gain 5k and critical for the turn. Not that the critical matters. Brad is at 1 life. Tapping 1 to use the other Violent Rays, not discarding this time. Derek's going to play the 1-drop, crit a life, summon a bot from the deck. Bot will then search most likely a 3-drop, so that way he can swap into it and then try and attack for game. Are we out of 3-drops? He's got a 4-drop that he can grab, which is combo power. But yeah, so he grabs the 4-drop. Not sure what's in his hand. We know he has a Raditz super combo because he's flashed it a couple times towards us. And then another 4-drop. The other cool thing he can do here is if he wants to, he can, when he goes for game, oh god, he's activating Vampa. He's going to take a life, look at the top 7 cards, and play something. Brad playing Pokemon Go as he awaits dying. It's currently Community Day, and he's checking for shiny Charmanders. Alright, so 1-drop Broly is going to play the Vampa will play the 1-drop Broly. Derek will then discard off of Vampa. Derek will not. Derek. Okay, well. Derek was supposed to discard off Vampa. It's fine. Because he did summon something. 1-drop will swap into 3-drop. And we go for game here, right? Cool. 3-drop's going to swing. New negate. And I think he just shows the super combo and Brad scoops here. Yep. Alright, guys, that's the game. We're going to be getting more Set 11 content just as people finish decks and then as people are able to play. This set did just release a week ago. Other than that, thank you for watching. Have a great rest of your day and more content probably. Bye.